This is the cheapest Amazon air pump. Budget or bargain? Let's have a look. Well, here it is. This is the cheapest mains air pump that I could find on Amazon. PAWFLY. Super silent, which is good. 2 watts and 1.8 litres a minute, so I don't expect too much from this. Yeah, Chinese made as usual. Super quiet, super. Okay, so as always, I do like to see what we have in the box. Wow, look, there you go. Now this was sub £10. A little ball, okay. Now, let me tell you how small this really is. There's my hand. That is tiny. Okay. I don't see where it's dragging the air from. Then we have a little filter. So I don't know. MA60. I don't know where it's pulling the air from. Okay, so look at the details. There you go. Ultra quiet air pump, 2.5 watts. 2.5 watts. It says 2 watts on there. Okay, well, there you go. 45 decibels, so that's not quiet, but it's super silent. Ah. So let's have a look. Let's get this out of the way. Now, I don't expect much, but in a pinch, you could buy one of these, and because they're low wattage, you could literally run this as a backup. Okay. Let's have a look. Ooh. Be careful with some airlines. I'll tell you why, because when they degrade over time, what happens is they go hard. When they go hard, they actually crank. So we got just over 1 metre of airline. Obviously I'm not going to run this, but let's feel if it's any good. Yeah, works. But I'm not going to run that just yet because I want to see how powerful it is without that. If you run this above your tank, above the water line, you don't need that, okay? If you run it below the water line, you need that. That's how it is. Actually, I might run it anyway, just to give you an idea. Let's get some skizzers. I always believe that if a deal is too good to be true, it usually is. And in this world, you don't get nothing for nothing. I like the way this is protruding, so that's a good thing. Let's put that on there. Now, goes that way. I'm going to use all the rest of the airline because that shouldn't make any difference. If you want something to be quiet, just move it further away from your ears. That's my motto. But we're going to use the air bubble because that makes sense as well. Let's have a look at the airline. You know, it's not too bad a quality, really. There you go. But it's a tiny little thing. I'm going to do a little test on the volume now, just to see what 45 decibels actually is. Okay. It's got nice little rubber feet, stop anti-vibration. I still don't know where it's sucking the air in from though. Bit of vibration from it, but do you know what? That's not too bad. Obviously that's a tiny little thing, yeah. Now you could run, actually what I'll do is I'll run a sponge on this as well. Okay, so I'll try it with this, see how much air we're actually moving. Alright. And then we'll try it with a sponge filter, just have a look. Okay, I think it's time to get it wet. Okay, so less than £10, tiny little thing, mains powered. So okay, let's turn it on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're moving shed loads of air. That looks good to me. As you can hear, most of the noise is coming from the bubbles, okay? Now that ain't quiet. And the vibration you can see, that's not my hands, that's the unit. Okay, let's try it with a sponge filter. Okay, so there's my Hamburg Matten mobile sponge filter. So let's see what we're doing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, okay. We are moving a lot of water. I would say that's probably close to 300, maybe 400 litres an hour. And that's on a seasoned sponge filter. So that's exactly what you need. And yes, it is making a hum. Do you know, it's not that much louder than, say, a Tetra 150. I mean, it's noticeable, but then all you need to do is put this under the stairs or somewhere like that. You just run a big airline, a long airline. So I like that. That's not doing too bad at all. I think that's probably, yeah, maybe 350 litres an hour, maybe. I mean, for the wattage of this thing, it's certainly not, I mean, you can see it moving, you can see it vibrating on the video. I don't know where the air's coming in. I really don't know where the air's coming in. That's crazy. Maybe through there. But yeah, okay, so look. Pros and cons, I think. Okay, so what do we think of it? Well, it's tiny. You know, it makes a lot of noise. I'll give you that. For what it is, it makes a bit of noise, okay? But then you could put this in a drawer and run this out, and, you know, you could make it otherwise. Some people put this right next to their ears and go, that's noisy. Well, of course it's noisy. It's a pump. It's supposed to be noisy. It is quality plastic. I'm trying to work out where it's sucking the air in from. But hey-ho. It ran a sponge filter really easy, and this was sub £10. This is tiny. I wouldn't worry too much about that, but the fact that you can run a sponge filter and the fact that you get that with it, you know, that's the kit. You're ready to go out of the box. You don't need to buy airline separate. You don't need to buy the back check valve or non-return valve. So it's got everything. It's got everything you need to run a sponge filter. So what you could do is have this as a backup. So you have your main top of the range whatever to run your sponge filter, and then you have this in the background, and when and if you get a problem with the other one, you run this up. Cheap as chips. You can leave it in a thing and forget about it. The only thing I don't like about this is that when I first turned it on, this thing went it moved across, but once it found its place, it was good. So you could probably put a weight here until it's found itself. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'll give you the links and you have a look yourself and tell me what you think about it, because I'm quite amazed that stuff like this is coming out now, where before, I mean, I had a £60 air pump from a company called Fluval, as you know, and it wasn't much quieter. Yeah, I run 2 pumps off it, and it was individually, you know, you could, each pipe, you could arrange it in different ways. So you could have 300 litres out of that one and 200 litres out of that one and vice versa. But, you know, pros and cons, I'd buy one of these and keep it in a drawer, just in case you had any issues. Okay, guys, listen, thanks for watching. Sorry about the delay on the videos. I've built a computer now, so we can get that all back up and running. Take care. Have a wonderful,